everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maple and I will be your tutor. Today we're reading the story Persepolis and spoilers up to the chapter The Diary. Get ready to learn, folks. Let's start with the summary. Persepolis is a graphic style story about a young girl in Iran called Margie. At the time of the story, Iran is facing multiple revolutions, wars, and general unrest is felt by the public. This is where the story starts, as Margie's life is changed by forces out of her control, and how those forces not only affect her, but her entire country. Repression and freedom is a repeating theme within the book. The people of Iran are faced with different rules that impose on their freedom. We see punishments for opposing views or even wearing the veil wrongly. Many news-spreading activities are banned, such as journalism and photography. The ones who get caught are sent to jail for torture. In this video, I will be analyzing panels that portray this theme, as well as interesting techniques used in the illustration. Repression and freedom are the first themes introduced to us, with the example of veil versus no veil. The two groups are represented by veil-wearing women and non-veil-wearing women. One side is chanting freedom, freedom, the other side is chanting for the veil. As these two sides are opposed, with the opposite of freedom being controlled or forced, we can assume this veil is a garment of control, an act of oppression and repression. Here these veil-wearing women are closing their eyes, while the non-veil-wearing women have their eyes open, perhaps a commentary on ignorance and seeing the truth for what it can be. The veil-wearing women refuse to see that they are imposing on others' freedom. The gaze of the modern woman, the non-hijab-wearing woman, is upward towards the veil-wearing woman. Looking up at something shows us a power difference. This could be telling the reader that the veil-wearing women hold a moral superiority because they follow the rules of the Islamic religion. It can tell us they hold more social power, or hold more power as the government supports them. Oppressors often have more power, as it is with that power that they oppress the freedom of others. The freedom of choice to wear the veil. We also see the veiled women merge with each other. There's no distinction between them, no lines to separate them. They act like a singular entity. Meanwhile, the unveiled women are more differentiated from each other, with proper lines distinguishing them, and even unique hairstyles. Women and girls become less recognizable and distinct when there are multiple veil-wearing women around. The uniqueness and personality of the women are hidden away, repressed. They hold no freedom of individuality or choice. When the borders closed on Iran, people could no longer leave the country. The only way to leave was to have medical reasons and then be given a permit by a hospital director to get a passport to even think about leaving the country for medical assistance. We meet Margie's uncle Tahir, a man with a history of heart attacks. When Tahir is hospitalized after his third heart attack, he needs open heart surgery, something he can only get outside of Iran. The ending panel of the chapter, The Passport, I find to be fitting as a accumulation of anti-freedom and oppression. If there were freedom, Uncle Tahir could have gone to England for the surgery. If there weren't oppression, he wouldn't have been kept within the country on the whims of a hospital director. If there were freedom, he could have seen his son overseas. If there weren't oppression, his son wouldn't have needed to leave. Unlike the majority of the book, this panel has no backgrounds, no speech bubble, no onomatopoeia. The surrounding of the characters is only negative space. It makes the scene feel grim, lonely, and quiet. It could be because death often feels so, but also because of how his family and friends may not have been able to come, like his son, stuck overseas. The empty space is a reflection of the emptied family. Again, the closed borders serve as a wall, unwavering even in his death. The gaze of the characters are all different, uncertain of where to go next, or what this means. This is not because they have so much freedom, so many options, but because they have no control. Uncle Tahir serves as a reminder that their fates are controlled by the government. Even when Margie's dad goes out to take some control and tries to save Uncle Tahir with fake passports, actions outside their control take away their power to do anything. The chapter, The Key, tells us of war and the young children sent to fight it. It tells us that young poor boys are sent off to die in exchange for plastic keys painted gold. But when untrained boys are sent to the front lines, the tragedy is that most of them don't survive. This panel is a white background with silhouettes of young corpses flown across the scene, using emanata to show the impact of the bombs. The plastic keys that were told would send them to paradise are hung around their necks and seem to choke them instead. The bodies are drawn unnaturally, with boys moving against gravity. You can tell they are children from the proportions. Their limbs and bodies are too short to be adults. This panel is drawn differently from the others. The only white is the background, with the people being entirely black, missing features like faces or hair. It could have been anybody, anybody's son, anybody's child. The pure white and pure black is used like a piercing silence, as there is no detail, only the impact. This shows the blinding all-consuming of bombs and deaths thrown at the young boys. It is also immediately contrasted with the party panel, with children jumping for joy instead of being thrown, wearing necklaces instead of keys. The rich have a privilege, the freedom of not going to war. Early in the chapter, we learn that Margie's family have power in their children's education. The maid, we know that she doesn't have the power to stop the school when they teach her son of paradise in the war. In Iran, we see that freedom is a privilege of the rich. It tells us that their freedom is unprotected by their governments. I haven't finished the book myself, so no spoilers in the comments. For the next video, I will be reading up to Tyrol, so I invite everyone to read along with me. So far, the book has been emotionally compelling, and of course, most importantly, it recounts stories of the author's life on a mostly unheard perspective of the living in Iran. Despite the fact that it is told using simple cartoon characters or that it is labeled as a graphic novel, the story of Persepolis has emotional depth and mature storylines. Similar to how the style may be viewed childish, it has a story for adults. The main character, the child Margie, faces the adult topics shown in the book. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!